Morning everybody. Somebody's asked me if I'll take the car out for a run into countryside at night so they can see how lights are and everything and that, so here we go. I've let screen defrost, well not defrost, clear, and we'll take it for a run out then. Simple as that. We'll get into countryside in a bit. I live near countryside, so I mean, you're all familiar how it drives, but might be a bit different kettle of fish for you when you get out into the sticks. As I've said to you in previous videos, there's not an issue with driving over winter months. You know, obviously lights are an important thing. So make sure you've got all them right. Make sure you've got adequate power. I mean, this car runs on a dynamo, so I just keep it that way. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, I put an alternator on about," but no, you better just with a good battery. As long as you do enough running about, you know. I mean, you can still see odd bit of steam at the bottom of the screen, well, condensation. But here we go, we're going to get out into countryside now. I'll try to take you for a good run round, you'll see how lights are. I mean, that's just done, put high beam on. I mean, they're not going to be the lights of a 7 Series Beamer or something, but as you can see, when I'm up on high beam, I ain't got an issue. Perfectly fine from my side. I mean, I don't know how good camera's picking it up or what it's doing, but we'll take you around anyway. Let's have a look. So that's what somebody's asked for. I mean, I've got a good battery. I think it's about a 72 amp hour on this, so that's like, it's quite good. You know, it's an original Ford one. It's the long rubber battery that I put on them. So it'll be getting a bit of an extra run this morning because I'm doing this for you. I mean, as obviously you can see, you're getting 20 street lamps area. Well, it's not, well, I don't think cars any different myself. It's probably hard to reflect on the lighting on this camera, to be honest. I mean, cars performing as quiet as ever, as it always is. You can actually hear speed, or it has a, you know, there's a little like clicking on it, a little whirring. So I mean, light dip switch on this is actually on floor. It's not on column. No indicator stoker out, but we're proper in country now. You know, there's no lighting out here. It's like where I go down to. I mean, see somebody with high beam on now coming over the road, so I dip for him. I mean, I don't think you can object to well, more or out about them lights. You know, they're just standard Lucas seal beams. The original lights on car. I mean, I like to keep things original and try not to. Even if I replace one, I'll hunt round and I'll track down a Lucas if I can. I mean, a bit of fog then we just picked up, as you can see, but so as I say, I'll take you for a good run round, so you're going to get just what it's like. I mean, for them who are not familiar with cars are a Ford Zephyr V4. It's a V4 car. You know, we're coming into some fuel light type S-Benz now. I've still got lights up on beam. I mean, obviously, well, I can, there's no traffic, so now there's something coming, dip them down, not got a problem. You know, you can easily see what's going off, what's not going off. I mean, I can't leave them on this stretch, I just leave them on normal, low beam. You know, I suppose if you were doing, well, if you wanted to do 100 mile an hour, they might be a bit behind job. But then again, what lamp wouldn't be behind job if you're wanting to do speeds like that? So, I'm just getting my point of it to people that you can use them, and you can use them all year round. It's just down to maintenance. I mean, and again, as I said earlier, this car's on a dynamo. I mean, there's no simpler than a dynamo. You've got your control unit, which is a bit of another item because people don't realise they adjust, and you do have to adjust them. You know, you've got to set up your outputs and stuff like that, but come back into town. But I'll get you out in country. Like I say, I'm going to get a good run round. I'm going to get, so you can get a feel of what it would be like to be out in one. I mean, I drive it all the time in dark. I drive them all the time in dark. It don't matter if I'm in Jags, Lincoln, whatever. They call it maintenance, and you do maintenance, and well, that keeps everything right. That's end of story. That is top and bottom of it. Got good maintenance, you've got a good car. In a village now called Barnborough. My grandfather built a lot of this. He was a builder. He built all these houses we're going to go past now. Quite a lot. Coming back into sticks again now. Car's warming up. Back up on I-beam, we're doing about 45 mile an hour-ish. We ain't got problems. Leave it by last minute. Modern lights, like a lot more powerful as you could see then. But we're on dip now. I ain't got a problem. Put it on I-beam. Plenty of light. This is what somebody's asked. I mean, roads, I can feel roads are a little bit slippy because obviously there's leaves all over as we're out in country, but car's coping with it. Car's got Michelin tyres on, the good tyres. Tyre pressures are kept right. But the main thing is with this car is it drives so well is because it's used. And it's with most of my cars because I do use them. I mean, I'm at work, I might go for a sandwich, nip for a jar of coffee. I'll just go jump in Lincoln. So I'll just shoot off up road, and it doesn't power a good just to move. I mean, I've noticed with Lincoln that that's obviously a standing issue when you're not using it so much. If that car stands for like over a week, the speedo just don't come up straight away. So it jumps up later. I mean, I don't know how its drive works on automatic gearbox. I don't 100% know what issue is, but it does prove to me that they need to be used, because when they're stood for a long time, that speedo could then become an issue. So that's something else on your maintenance list. I know you've got to be like really careful. I mean, the last thing they want to be, these cars, is sat in garage idle. And I know a lot of people have passed me comments and said, yeah, but with salt up, well, wash them more. Simple as. I mean, we're out in sticks now, we're following another car. As you would on a winter's run into work or whatever you... Well, even if you just fancy a good run out in deep winter, you get a nice day and it drops dark on you. You obviously ain't got an issue, as you can see with this. You know, that's the last thing they've got. I mean, one point I do want to put over with these old cars, and never mind what all these like eco warriors say. If you were got one of these and you were keeping this car alive, and you were driving it throughout the year and just keeping it going, well, you were a bit of an eco warrior, because, well, they're not having to produce new cars. You know, you're using existing stuff. And I know you're going to have a bit of maintenance, but you've got, if you're driving it, you're going to know you have maintenance, so get on eBay, have a ferry to buy. You know, you're in a situation where, well, I'm not saying everything's out there, because it can be difficult with some cars. There's not a vast amount of spares for these Mach 4s. I mean, I've been collecting stuff from 80s, 90s, I've had an interest in these cars, so that's where a lot of my stuff's come from. And I knew I'd always carry on with them, so I have got the bits, you know, like when it started to fail the other day, I'm in a situation where I could just straight away just grab a new old stock off shelf. But the old one now, I'll take it in, I'll get it reconditioned, because that's the position I want to be in, because I want to carry on using them. And as I've just said earlier, that puts you in a position you like really are like a proper eco warrior, because you're just keeping something alive. And while you're keeping something alive, you're not having to have new. You know, it's simple as that's just the situation you're in. I'll go back into a bit of thick country again now, countryside, and then, well, it's past bigger, well, there's some, what is it, big wind turbines down here, and great fields, and then wind turbines. I mean, it almost seems like a bit odd to me. There's not a street light in sight. You might get a glimpse at turbines as we pass. I don't think my camera's high enough to catch it, to be honest. No, because I've got you more on road. You might just see silhouette of them, I don't know. I see, you might on telly, you might pick them up. We're passing them now. There's a two to my left, two to my right. Well, like I say, I'm 45 mile an hour now, just trundling along. I'm on high beam. I've got more than enough light for what I want. You know, I mean, maybe some of your people might think, well, I'd like a bit more light. I mean, my eyes are 61-year-old nearly, so they're coping with it. I'm just trying to do what people ask for me, and so it's a run out in dark to just prove our lights are. Obviously, they don't drive any different in dark. You know, you need your heater, obviously, in your winter months. I mean, I do go on about that one a bit, but it is very important. You know, and it's not a big issue. I mean, even if cars need a matrix, it might be one lot of messing about, but once you've done it, you've done it. And same if you've recommissioned your car from, like, I mean, you've like pulled it out in a shed like this one was. I mean, I've had this car's, it'll be 3 years in March I got it. It was a frozen engine. It was, all its brakes were locked up, and a full recommission, new water pump. I went through fuel system, everything 120%. New, well, I put a new fuel pump on it, I put a new wet stock carburettor, because somebody put it on a manual choke transit carburettor with a linkage light that were appalling, so. But I'm pretty sure this will be a good enough run out for you. And I'm pretty sure some of you might have picked up on a few things I've said that'll help you. I mean, I've got somebody up my back end now. I can, obviously, whether he overtakes me or worrying a bit, that's up to him. I don't need to go a million mile an hour, he might have to. I'm just cruising into work. A few things to do. As I said to you the other day, I've I've got to go out and look at 3 cars for probate, for a will. I mean, lights dip down there, car coming over way, not a problem. My indicators are more than fine, people can quite easily see them. But as I said to you earlier, I think the big issue now with driving them and driving them all the time is you're doing a very, very big thing for the environment. And I don't care what somebody's going to say to you about, oh, the big polluting things and the loads of CO2, they do this, they do that, they do other. Well, if you just put them on a CO2 meter, if they're set up right, they're not all that bad, what everybody says. But you'll just think how much effort and how much resources it takes to produce a new car. And at the end of the day, soon everybody will be driving new cars that'll probably turn out from China. And I mean, their policy on environment is much to be desired. But I mean, I'm not getting too political, but I am just stating the fact that this car is 54-year-old, and I'm hoping I'm driving. Well, if I'm still on planet, I'm hoping I'm driving this car when it's 74-year-old. So I don't see any reason why not. I've got the parts. I mean, you can see as I go from low to high beam, you'll have seen a massive difference in what view I've got at road. Little grumble on synchro on third on this. I don't think it's a gearbox issue. It's getting ready for a clutch, as I keep saying, and it might just need a bit more on pressure plate. So, but I've got a duck clutch. I'll pull engine out when I duck clutch, and while I've got engine out, I'll put new core plugs in, because I mean they're 54-year-old, so they'll be getting ready. So I'll sort the problem out before it arises. I mean, it's had a rad on it. It's had everything else. So there's no issues there, and then I'll probably have a little bit of a tidy up at engine bay and plenty of landing guard around. I want some bottom bushes on control arms, and we should be fine. So just keep going for me, and then obviously you should see a few more getting done, to be quite honest. Well, if you like videos, give us a like. If you want to see stuff like this, I mean, it's not going to be, I don't think I'm going to be doing this very often or very rarely, unless somebody asks me questions on a particular. But subscribe to my channel and pass a comment if you want to know out, and I'll come back to you. So, I mean, I hope that's been alright for you. A proper run out in countryside, in dark, in a Ford Zephyr V4. I mean, no, I think I'll take you out in something else one day, and another make. So they all perform just alright. Just got to keep things right. So anyhow, take care everybody, and bye for now.